Hey everybody, this is Stephen Roy Parker. I just want to talk. This is going to be like a not an entirely planned talk. This will be kind of more off the top of my head. I'm trying to get clarity about what on the deeper level my kind of message is or my intention is with all of this stuff that we do. My three primary kind of, we'll call it activities at the moment, are the theta healing, which is teaching the classes and teaching people how to access this self and this creative energy of everything to make changes in their life. At least that's the surface purpose, and to heal physical stuff and to heal emotional stuff and find what you need to find to create better relationships and money and blah 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 blah. The theta healing, the activations, magnetic heart activation, cellular light body activation, and the various kind of meditations and healing journeys I'm sort of in my mind creating to kind of find a way to bring to people in my own, through my own filters, let's say. And all of it, in one way or another, all of it kind of comes down to two quotes. This is what I'm thinking about right now, and this is a 1 minute healing I just did like 10 minutes ago. The first quote is a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. Wind cannot dry it. Weapons cannot shatter it. Eternal, unborn, it cannot die. This is this deepest self, this connection to source, whatever you want, whatever name you want to call source, it doesn't matter to me. Call it God, call it creator, call it the quantum field, call it, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is the thing that, this it is the thing that ultimately what we're really trying to do is we're trying to align with that deepest truth of who and what we really are. Deeper than the personality, deeper than what we experience as the physical person, let's say. Not in a way that you must delete delete your personality or delete your, or not in a way that invalidates what you're experiencing as yourself and how you interact with the world. That's not the point. This is not the point. But finding the ways, particularly when we don't feel good for whatever the reason is, finding the ways to realign our identity, realign our focus with that deepest inner self, that it, that where everything is beautiful and everything is perfect, whether our personality buys it or not. And then the other piece I just want to add, hold on, let me get the quote up. It's Franz Kafka. Hold on. And I read this in the little 1 minute video also. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen. Simply wait. Be quiet, still, and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. In my own life, I'm having experiences where if something in the outer world, some circumstance, whether it's my health, whether it's different kinds of connections with different people, and if some circumstances are such that I wish would be different, what I found for myself has been that when I get into the habitual, the kind of the circular thinking, which can sometimes be like a broken record, and sometimes I notice that sometimes I don't notice that I'm getting in this kind of circular behavior pattern and circular thinking. it can look different from day to day, but when I start kind of pulling back and getting honest with myself and noticing that even though on one level it seems to look different because I'm focusing on a different color of the same problem, I'm still focusing on the same problem and giving it energy. And when I'm doing that and I'm not feeling good, or I'm feeling obsessive about needing to see something or say something or needing to communicate something in similar energy, where I'm trying to create a different outer result. Most of the time, this is in my case only, most of the time, if I'm doing that from a place where I don't feel really at peace and really in love and harmony and feeling happy, then what I'm really doing is I am putting energy into continuing to create the thing, the circumstance, the interactions that make me unhappy, or make me dissatisfied, or make me fall into self-pity, or whatever. And what I've been finding, for some reason, I've had some kind of a different motivation than I'm used to, where I've begun to have experiences where even when the circumstances are clearly not what my brain and my personality want, when I can find the way, whether that doing some theta healing work on myself and going deep into myself and doing digging to discover what are the payoffs that cause me to stay in this obsessive thinking behavior, which creates what I'm trying to get rid of, whether I do that, whether I have the ability to pull away enough where I can go into a kind of a meditation for 15 or 20 minutes or an hour or whatever, and realign, connect with that deepest it in some way, at least partially. And I can allow that to bring myself back into alignment and back into we'll call it a vibration, we'll call it ways of thinking, different patterns of, or pathways of thinking that not only do not contribute to the problem, but allow me to be at peace despite what appears to be going on in the outside world. And so I pull out of, again, and sometimes I have to decide this, pull out of what's so easy to be kind of the victim mentality, the victim status, and realign through the theta healing, realign through the meditation, realign through simply finding a way or allowing myself a way to change my focus away from the thoughts or the circumstances that are difficult to other truths that are right in front of my face, like this beautiful sky that's outside right now, or a feeling of peace that when I allow it to come, when I can pull my focus through different techniques, through deciding to focus on something different consciously, through working on myself with the theta healing technique, with doing the meditation, listening to something like Abraham Hicks, or whatever the thing is for me that brings me into a place of deeper peace and deeper satisfaction and deeper appreciation, even possibly of the situation that I think I don't like. And what I've been finding more and more and more lately, in a different way, in a way that I've been able to appreciate and even see or accept, as I allow myself, as I do whatever it is I need to do to pull out of that negative stuff with the different techniques and allow myself to feel good, to be in alignment with the truth of that beautiful connection with Source, and not need circumstances, not need situations to change in order to allow myself to have that feeling. I've really, really been discovering over and over again that when I allow that to happen, then literally the world, in practical ways, not just in my imagination, but in practical ways, the world begins to reflect that back to me. The world literally does, in a way, according to Kafka, oops, look at the camera, Kafka, Franz Kafka, roll in ecstasy at my feet. And that's what everything is really about. That's what all of it is about. That's what really the theta healing is about. And come and take the classes, man. Come take them from me, take them from somebody else. I don't care. I mean, yeah, I care. I'd like you to take them from me because I'm making my living that way these days. But take the classes and find a new way to be able to pull out of that way of experiencing the world that just feeds the problem, and realign yourself with this source. Realign yourself with the creative energy of everything, and allow that to work its magic. And I mean magic in a positive way, not in a trying to control things, not in a way of exercising power, in the old sense, but just simply falling into that deep, natural state, which includes joy and harmony and a deep peace. And when I can do that, and when I choose to do that, the world does literally begin to start to reflect that state to me in ways that seem magical sometimes. So that's what all of it is about. That's what the theta healing is about. That's what the guided meditations are about. That's what the magnetic heart activation, cellular light body activation is about. That's what the personal sessions are about, really, even though they look something like something else. And it's so cool. So this is one of my experiences in these last months. And hopefully you can take this and get something out of it. Maybe your job isn't to save the world. Maybe your job is to be happy. Maybe your job is to find the way to choose joy. Maybe your job is to find the way to let go of being the victim, to let go of fighting against things, and simply allow yourself to be more and more and more over time that deepest kind of inner self, that source connection, that you're a part of the source that creates you, and you identify more and more with that. And by doing that, instead of trying to fight everything, by doing that, coming into that alignment and literally helping the world by simply finding the way to let go of those conflicts no matter what's going on in our lives, and being that peace and being that joy and being that it more and more and more. You don't have to let go of your personality. You don't have to change circumstances in order to allow that to happen. You can have it happen, which allows some of what you see as the negative circumstances begin to change and transform, and that the world literally does begin to kind of roll in ecstasy at your feet. That's it. See ya.